The following podcast has been rated R. You've been warned. Welcome to the greatest DC Legends podcast in human history. Well, okay, maybe not, but stick around anyway, because we're about to have some fun. You know me, I'm the AB. And along with the All-Stars, we'll talk DCL, superheroes, comic book lore, and everything else in between. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Atlantis After Dark.
Hello, and welcome to our humble fucking podcast. That's right, people. Drop your cocks and grab your socks, because we're going for a stroll down the DCL choo-choo train, and you get to be the engineer. Is it live or is it Memorex? Am I really here? I'll tell you what, guys. I'm ready to go already. You are too, so I don't want to waste any more time. Let's get right into it. Let's introduce today's All-Stars. First up, warming up in the bullpen, he tells me the difference between his job and his marriage is that after 10 years, his job still sucks. It's Biff by Adam West. What's the word, dude?
My job does suck. I can tell you that. There's no doubt about that. How's it going?
Hey, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. All things being equal. Glad to have you on board today, buddy.
Glad to be here.
Next up, he's the Sorcerer Supreme of cyberspace. Last week, he stayed at a hotel with his family, and he tells the guy at the front desk, hey, I hope the porn is disabled. The guy at the front desk says, it's just regular porn, you sick fuck. It's Retmus. What's happening out there, Big Kahuna?
Oh, man. It is so wonderful to have you back, AB. I missed you so much, and I missed being roasted so much, too. That was such a wonderful thing. I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome, pal. Nobody ever thanks me for roasting him. That's
all right. Never have to know who the nice one is here.
I thought I was the nice one here. I don't know.
You are.
Yeah. Well, no, my throne has been usurped. That's for sure. Anyways, welcome. Thanks for being with us today, pal. What about this next All-Star? The only thing I can say about him is he says the best way to make sure his wife is screaming during sex is to call her up and tell her about it. It's replacement file. I mean, Sec Jew. Welcome to Double AD, pal.
Well, you know, that's even worse because my wife accidentally added me to the call blocker yesterday. We had to get that fixed, too, so it's detrimental to the sex life.
Oh, man.
Glad to have you back, AB. Thank you for the roast as well. I'm checking all the bucket list things off the last few broadcasts. I got Witty last time, Witty again, you know, AB.
Right.
So excited to be here.
It's a red letter day. Hey, no, thank you for being on the show, pal. We appreciate you, and welcome aboard officially to the Double AD group. You're no longer a groupie, you're in the group.
Woo.
Woohoo. All right.
Thank you.
Last but not least, from the hidden isle of Themyscira, she recently got back from a trip to Amsterdam. When I asked her why Amsterdam, she said, I always wanted to stick my finger in a dike. It's Witty Amazon. What's happening out there on Paradise Island?
I just had to cross that one off my bucket list. So.
I'm sure you did. Oh, my God.
Oh, wow. Oh. Isn't it great? I mean, seriously, I miss this so much.
Well,
by the way, I sent Witty a message when she was in Amsterdam about the World Cup draw, because we're both, soccer/football fans. And right. She responded, I said, have you seen the World Cup draw? And she said, no, I'm in the red light district right now, and there's not too many football fans here right
now. Boy.
Perfect timing.
Oh, my God. So Hate Mail is going to be joining us a little bit later on, so we'll save his roast for later. But welcome, one and all. And I just want to say thank you guys, especially to Retmus, all of you guys, All-Stars, for doing such a bang-up job in my absence. I loved the interview with Moomin last week. I didn't listen to all of a previous episode. I skipped the Batman review because spoilers and all. But I want you to know how much I appreciate the work you guys did, and I'm forever grateful. Thank you guys so much.
It was our pleasure.
Good deal. Good deal. Just kind of a little trip down memory lane. I was going through some of the old bits the other day, and I thought to myself, some of these are classics, man. What I should do is I should put them together like the double AD greatest bits package on YouTube, and just line them all up and just play them so that everybody has, and highlight the track listed out so that people can get to their favorite bits whenever they want to. I know we haven't done bits in a long time, but I'm starting to feel fruity again. So who knows?
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Maybe we should do that. I'll get off my duff and get them all on YouTube. I was listening, but the funniest damn thing I ever heard, and it made me crack up so much, was during that rap battle with Biff. He says the funniest damn thing I can't remember why I didn't think it was so funny to begin with, but he says, "Yes, I am an evasion comp specialist," in order to prove his street cred in a rap about superhero battles. That's the funniest damn thing. Dude, that was comic genius. Why didn't I ever think it's great. It's great. I want to put them all back out there on YouTube so you guys can listen to it. Have the same kind of nostalgic feel that I did. By the way, Zuzu over there is holding his big $100 prize for PvP challenge. I think it's the Suicide Squad. And if you're not knee deep into that, why not? It's $100, everyone. That's almost enough to buy a gallon of milk. The theme. So be sure to check out all the eligible tunes so you can win big. And while you're shopping for that gallon of milk, you can wear that spiffy new Double AD t-shirt you got along with that $100. Personally, I think the t-shirt is the better deal, but to each their own. So get over to DCL4E and post your victories to gain points and crush your enemies. And with that being said, I think it's time. Let's get into some DCL. So I want you guys to help me get back into things and quickly wrap up. Give me the Cliff's Notes. Tell me what I missed.
You missed a lot, buddy.
I
there's
missed
been
a
a
lot.
couple things.
Yeah. We need a sound effect of a cricket playing right after that.
Will that work?
Yes, that's it.
Oh, God.
I was just doing the math of how long it's been out. You've missed quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I have. It's been a long time. It's been, 3 months? I mean, good grief, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
I was looking through my roster, and I, for whatever reason, and I'm not sure exactly how, but I've got a 4-star John Cena, and who else was the big surprise on my roster? Oh, I've got a shitload of Abin Sur shards. I don't know where they all came from. Did I do some purchasing in my sleep or something?
I was going to say that he just came out.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know where all these damn shards came from. In my haste or in my mental state, I must have. Yeah, I've almost got enough John Cena shards to take him L5 for Christ's sakes. But yeah, so I don't know how that happened, but yeah, obviously I missed a lot. Yeah. So we're gonna pretend like the last 3 months didn't exist, and we're just gonna forward on to today's topics, which is new tunes and reworks. Like you guys said, Abin Sur just came out, and you guys didn't really talk a lot about him in the last episode, but what are your first thoughts on Abin Sur? And I'll start with you, Sexy, since you're at the very top upper right-hand side of my screen.
Sounds good. I like Abin Sur. I mean, he's got some issues with his kit not working, I think, as intended, or maybe I just misunderstand how it should be working.
Right.
I love that his primary attack is an AoE. It can be annoying at times because you don't always want to hit everybody, but it's nice that it has the 75% chance to stun the primary target. So I always love those ones that you at least have a shot at stunning somebody if you're hitting everybody at the same time. His second power, I like the concept of it because it's similar to like Nightwing's thing where we're going to make the whole team invisible but me, and I have a stack of evades, and you can kind of play on that because he thrives with a character like Nightwing because of that invisibility and the fact that his second power can assign the taunt to a guy that's dodging everything and dishing out awareness like there's no tomorrow. So I really like him. The only issue I'm having with him is that his critical immunity and debuff immunity don't seem to apply when you use his second power. And I don't see, like, I have the power maxed out and I don't see an RNG component there, so I'm not sure why that's not happening, but I've noticed fairly consistently when I've been using him in Siege, I use that second power and I don't see the critical immunity or debuff immunity showing up. I'd be curious if anyone else is running into that, but everything else seems to be working smoothly. I've got his second, third, and fifth powers ringed out at the moment because I've only got him L3, but I'll definitely be taking him L5 with the option for RB1. So I like him. I think he's a good new character.
Wow, that's high praise. Biff, what do you think?
He's good. Like as you know, I haven't noticed that problem just because I don't pay attention. You know, I'm not very detail oriented when I'm watching the matches, and I haven't used him a ton. I just used him basically this week for Alliance. I tend to not like to use the new characters in Siege because I like to be very comfortable with what the people are going to do. In this Siege, we have so many good bonus that I haven't needed to use him. So I just want to be really comfortable with the character. So I've just used him for Alliance points this week.
Right.
And to mirror what Sexy said, that his one being able to choose your own stun, it's not as good as why am I drawing a blank? It's not as good as Kilowog. Being the 100%. But my 75% has been pretty good. I think I've only not stunned once. So I've had good luck with that. And it is a valuable, you know, and you don't have too many AoEs on basic. You know, Supergirl comes to mind, obviously, with her crazy 2 AoEs, but yeah, so far so good.
Nice.
I'm not a big Lantern guy, so I'm not
I'm not either.
Super into it.
Yeah. Redmus, what do you think, pal?
I'd have to agree with Sekju's assessment. I have noticed a few things not working correctly. When he first came out, they had his kit messed up. He was I believe they had him as a physical shield, and they switched it over. Now he is a special shield character, tank, if you will, tank character. I do love his basic just because it is an AoE, because it helps out on a lot of teams. Like, for example, if you're going up Martian Manhunter teams, all awareness going off of a basic. Going up against Nightwing team where everybody's invisible, he hits them all. You know, as long as there's not a Terra or a Hal Jordan on the team, he's going to be able to stun pretty much any character that's hidden away from him. So, I mean, overall, you know, I mean, he's not the best new toon we've ever had, but he's definitely not the worst. I mean, I'm enjoying playing with him. I have only chosen his last ability, his fifth ability, where at the start of every turn he gets 2 in-ups for, you know, each ally that's invisible. So, you know, like Sekju was saying, put him on a Nightwing team, he starts stacking those in-ups and he becomes super powerful. And I also chose his number 1 legendary, where he has the 75% chance to apply 3 evasion downs, and he can't miss, which is another great thing against Biff teams.
Yeah,
I don't call them evasion teams anymore. I just call them they're just Biff teams.
He owns that branding.
Evasion comp specialist.
That's it. The evasion comp specialist.
Oh, by the way, I did have one thing to add. Another stupid thing that they did with this character that I freaking hate is when they create a legendary you never want to take.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which I think is just moronic in design and just poorly thought out. But as many have said, I'm certainly not the first to bring it up, but many in the community have said is you really don't ever want to take as 4. Which to me just screams of.
It's a death sentence to your team.
Yeah.
I mean, one dies and you put the taunt on a different teammate, and then he dies, and then he puts the taunt on the other teammate, and it annihilates your whole team. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, keep him alive at the expense of your team.
I mean, it depends. It also depends on what type of team comp you run. What if you have like a Barter on your team, or a Harley Quinn on your team, or a Clayface, and you have a team lineup like that where they're all taunter tanks, and you will constantly get that taunt off of everybody away from you, you're constantly going to be throwing a taunt on someone else. So it could make his survivability great. But of course, that's very niche, but it could serve a purpose if that's the type of team you want to play. And I've went up against people that have had like a whole team of taunters, except one character that's weak and gets killed. So like if you would choose someone like, Dr. Poison or someone that's, squishy, that could be a death sentence for the character, like, Witty said and Biff saying and everybody else. But I mean, it's really depends on your play style. So he could be usable, but like Biff said, I wouldn't be choosing that anyway, but I can see where it could be useful.
Yeah.
Team full of taunters.
I mean, I did actually try running him like that. Like I tried with 3 taunters.
It doesn't say which characters you're going to put the taunt on. Right. So I don't think it's going to be useful. Even if you go at 5, I would recommend you not take this one. Period.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
The only usefulness it has is it makes Abin Sur go to his teammates' funerals because his whole team is going to die.
Yeah, isn't he supposed to be the one that dies? Yeah.
Then I got to have that stupid red bubble up there because I haven't taken the legendary. It fucking drives me crazy.
Right. Like Lobo? Isn't Lobo one of those characters where you don't take his 4th?
Yeah. And I think people should do the same with this one. I understand what Redmus is going on about, but I would really skip it.
Yeah.
He just wants that assigned taunt back to his RB5 Grundy. That's why he loves it.
And I was hoping to stretch this out because I don't know when Hate Mail is going to be joining us here. I thought he would be already on with us, but I was trying to stretch this out because I know he really wanted to talk about the new tunes and stuff today. So, gosh.
We can talk reworks and then get to John Stewart, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Right. Because I know he has a lot to say about it, and I am curious to hear what he has to say. So, we'll table that discussion.
We'll get back on that.
We'll come back to that, and we'll hold Witty's thoughts, and then we'll see what he has to say as well. Let's talk a little bit about the reworks then. Let me see. Who were the reworks this month? I don't even know who the fucking reworks are. Jeez, let's
start with who they are.
Parallax.
Parallax, that's right.
And,
Daddy, that's right. Daddy, as Judy says.
Yes.
So let's start with Parallax. He was kind of a...
How's your daddy?
Right. He was kind of a crappy character, and has he improved at all? What do you guys think? Witty, I'm gonna start with you.
I think he has improved a lot, and I think he's now beefier, and the enrage he puts on the enemy team can be a little too much to deal with. I've come into a little trouble in Siege because of that. And he can hold off in a 1v4 against 4 mystic characters due to that enrage.
Oh, pardon me. Sorry, I was taking a drink of coffee and I swallowed it wrong. Biff, what do you think?
I haven't used him a lot.
Right.
Quite frankly, I've seen, I've probably faced him more than I've used him. And he's obviously tankier than he was, and he was tanky prior. But I don't have a lot to add on him. He hasn't really brought me a lot of problems in Siege when I faced him. But that might be due to the fact that probably because I didn't know exactly what to expect, I probably brought a Spectre, and we know what Spectre does to green tanks.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Ratmus, take us through your review on Parallax here.
I like Parallax. I like it how he constantly, his survivability. I actually wanted to bring this up. I went against Du Bois' all lantern team, right? And they were all energy except for John Stewart. And I was just like, okay, not a problem. I'll just take my RB5 Spectre in there and wipe the floor with him. He kept surviving every hit Spectre put on him. My RB5 Spectre was having a heck of a time taking down his RB5 Parallax. I mean, it was like over and over, and then his life bar would fill back up, and then I'd hit him again, and he'd be almost dead. He'd heal right back up, and I was just like, "Daggone, what a tank!" I mean, he at a high level like that, he's very, very difficult to defeat. Mine is only an L5 right now, but I'm seriously thinking about taking him up in the RB land because he's very good. I like the character overall. I mean, some of the abilities that he does have. Not a super huge fan. There was one of his abilities, I think, where like if he's enraged, that yeah, let me see if I can find it real quick. I forget what it was now. If he's enraged, he applies 1 empowered stamina up on all allies at the end of his turn. I mean, that seems like that would be great, but it never usually happens because I usually have someone has like, debuff, debuff immunity on, so he hardly ever gets enraged himself. But other than that, I'm having a little bit of trouble speaking this morning. I was up late last night, so
you were up late.
yeah. We were chatting a little bit, but overall, I really like the character. If he is enraged, I mean, it's cool that he strikes twice on his basic. I wish he would just strike twice on his basic. Like if he had so many stamina ups or something like that, it would just probably make him way OP because he's really, I think, an underrated character right now. Because I think most people are in love with Alan Scott and his shield casting ability, like candy. It's crazy. But overall, I rate him a really good, a solid reworks. One of the better reworks we've had in a long time.
Sure. Sect you.
I mean, I don't have much more to add than what Retmus was just saying. He's not a character that I have ranked leveled to use, but just reading the kit, he seems like he's improved from where he was before. To Retmus's point, though, like he's like a long-term project for me because I already have some taunters that kind of do that. Like Ultraman comes to mind as somebody who heals up like crazy and can absorb a ton of damage. And I'd much rather kind of work on my Ultraman to like RB3 versus start a new project with Parallax. Plus, Superman as another green taunter is kind of fantastic these days, and he'll be getting the RB5 treatment later this month. So
nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess, I think he's better than he was before, but I can't speak from personal experience, but I definitely agree with what the other All-Stars had to say.
Right on, man. Right on. And speaking of, Biff, you just brought that up. Let's talk a little bit about Alan Scott, because I think out of both of them, he's the one that I prefer, just because, like you said, his shields go crazy. Retmus, what say you about the Alan Scott rework?
I like him a lot. I mean, you can start off and he can keep your whole entire team alive just because it constant shields everywhere.
Right.
Unless you're facing an opponent that can punch under shields, he is definitely a top character to take. They gave him a boost in his stats. His basic is hitting hard again. He was kind of a victim of the power, crap there for a while. I think Whitty brought it up last time, how he used to hit hard, but now he's just meh. He's almost back to what he was, with the all the new toons that are out there. His ability for shields is his strength.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I can't say enough about the character. He's really good. I think I'm going to probably end up taking him to at least RB2 or RB3. I'd love to take him to RB5. I'm not going to invest that much in shards because, like Sectu said, Superman's coming up, and I know at least 3 of us that are going to definitely RB5 him, so he holds precedence. But Alan Scott is definitely up there, so you can't go wrong with picking him now.
Yeah. Now, here's a good question. I don't know if I've ever looked this up. Is his legendary order updated at all?
I don't know. That would probably be the best for hate mail because I just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I had him.
L5 already.
That's a good way to do it. Sure. That's a good.
That's my problem. I have more than 60% of the roster L5 or higher. I haven't spent too much time on the legendary orders. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah.
Alan Scott 2022 rework. Hate mail has it as 152 bracketed, So saying he's viable at L3.
L3.
And 4-3 as his last two. So
Right.
1-5-2 are his priorities, and 4-3.
Got it.
Or
Got it.
if you have L5, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's what I went with.
That's amazing. That's the same combination on my luggage.
A Jewish princess.
I love that movie. Oh my God. So, gosh, it sounds like that he's a solid character. Witty, what do you think?
I think he definitely got beefier. You know, his damage is good, on par with what we have right now with the new characters we've been getting. But I feel he's harder to kill now, and not just because he gets death immunity on his second or because of his shields, but he can take a hit. I mean, in Siege, having Booster Gold as another bonus character, I mean, he can take a pretty good hit from him,
Yeah.
and still be alive to tell the story. And that's a big difference. And as what Redmus was saying, him being all about shields, I mean, he helps the team a lot, and being able to get the death immunity from his second legendary point makes him, you know, a staple. Having the shields also makes his first move, you know, makes him crit on his basic if you have shields. So that helps him out a lot as well. And of course, you know, having the chance to use his basic twice when you get his fifth legendary point is also a must-have. So much like Hate Mail put it, I would also leave his third legendary for last, but everything else is juicy.
Yeah. I'd agree. Has anybody not chimed in? Ratmus, did you chime in? Biff, did you chime in on this one?
No, I'll just add one thing.
Sure.
You know, generally when there are blues with my evasion and retaliation teams, you know, whether it's Spectre, whether it's Black Flash, whether it's any blue, the second they miss, they kill themselves, because I'm stripping whatever they have with
Right.
Batgirl, and then whoever it is, Cassie, Harley Quinn, whoever's Scarecrow, whoever is retaliating, just destroys all blues, because I have them at pretty high levels. So, you know, Spectre is fodder, Black Flash fodder. I faced Alan Scott in a couple of Siege matches, and my RB5 girls retaliated, and he didn't die, and I was like, oh, that's a new one. So yeah, he's one of the few blues I've seen in the game that can take a hit from my red girls.
That's pretty incredible. From your red girls. I like how you put that too. Your
My
red
red girls, my red ladies.
You love them redheads. Yvonne Craig.
At least a red wig.
A red wig.
For
There you go.
Batgirl.
For
There you
Batgirl.
go.
That's right. That's what I thought.
under the cowl wig.
And under the cowl wig. Is that what she wore? Was it? I thought it was her real hair. Was it a wig?
No, that was a wig. If you know, Barbara Gordon, you know, I think had black hair,
Did
short
she?
hair.
Oh God, you're right.
Yeah.
Why did I never put those together before?
Have you not been up on season 3 of Batman 66? Are you not watching? Because, you know, spoilers.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, right?
50-year-old spoilers.
You never know, man.
Don't ruin it for me,
I
Beth.
think they are spoilers for him.
Darn, I hadn't seen that one yet.
Right. Is that the one with? There was an episode of Batman 66 where they did like the human Chinese puzzle torture trick. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I do.
God, was that? God, that was
I'm
terrible.
trying to think. I'm trying to think which villain that was.
I know.
I don't remember.
No. See, I don't know everything about Batman 66, and neither do you.
Oh, I don't know everything. I haven't watched in a while. That's the thing.
Oh, you haven't?
You know what I've watched? I think I've watched the majority of the episodes I've watched recently
Right.
have been, I went back and did like a King Tut thing where I watched all the King Tut episodes recently. But
All two of them?
No, there was more than that. I think there was 4 actually.
Four of them.
4.
Oh, 4 of them.
By the way, this guy on Twitter, he's his handle I think is like 60s Batman or
Right.
whatever. And every time around this year, around when the NCAA basketball tournament he does a Batman 66 villain like bracket.
Right.
And he puts them all against, and I was pissed yesterday, and I actually sent him a message because somehow, some way in his bracket, he had King Tut facing Julie Newmar Catwoman in the second round. And I'm like, dude, you misseeded him. Like, you can't, because I can't even vote for King Tut against Julie Newmar Catwoman. Like that's it's villain.
Yeah.
So did I just lose sound?
It
Just for a
switched
second
your
there.
Yeah, just
computer
for a second.
again.
We can hear you though.
Yeah. He has that problem. Sometimes the mic switches. Now you're
Oh.
completely muted on us.
I see your lips moving,
Yeah.
but I don't hear anything coming out of your mouth.
Okay.
Oh, now I hear you.
Okay.
Yep. There you are.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, that's my little Batman 66 story for today.
Well, thank you.
King Tut got misseeded
King
Yeah.
Tut.
in the 60s Batman villain bracket, and I'm pissed about it.
Only you could be pissed about something like that.
He's gonna have to write the commissioner.
Get on the bat phone. I don't know how much longer I can stall for hate mail. We're just gonna have to truck on through without him. He must really be
I was
busy.
gonna say,
Yeah.
does anyone have John Stewart? That could be a problem.
Yeah.
Well,
I was gonna really default to hate mail on the
I know.
Yeah.
the new John Stewart because
Yeah.
I don't got it.
I mean, all I got to say is now all the spectrums are represented, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh my god.
It's what?
Oh my god. What did you call him, Woody?
It's what?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I really have to say something now.
Sure.
Yeah, and it is that I didn't win for a point. So even if you get this point, if you're not first, you're last. So I still win.
Hey, no,
Going
no,
back
no.
to that
Hey,
thing.
hey, Witty,
Yeah.
Witty, you're wrong. You're wrong. I am first place of all the losers,
That's fair. That's a fair
You're
point.
still a loser. You're still a loser.
but I'm first
Oh.
place.
Oh god.
You got to have the positive spin on it. And there it is. I'm still first place.
I'm just saying, I still won the contest. So
Oh, you won it fair and square. I'm just, a little sour because I was like, no, there's another spectrum. And AB's like, what? No, there's not. I was like, yes, there is. It was just like, well, okay. If he's ever appears in the game, you'll get that point. Well, he's there. Ha.
you know what? You know what that means, AB. He's ready for a run two. So
That's what I was just thinking. We're gonna have to have another round of this to determine
All right.
once and for all who the actual champion is. I can think of I'm already constructing the game in my head, which we're gonna have fun with. But yeah.
By the way, I have a trivia question for everyone. Who is the all-time leader and winner of our twat or not segment?
Oh,
I don't know.
Biff.
It's me.
I know
It's
it.
me.
Yeah, it's Biff.
We've only done it once and I won.
Hey, and you know what? I was first place of all the losers again. I
You
remember
were.
that because I think you beat me like what by a point or two at the most, something like that.
I don't remember. I just know I won. I don't care if I won by 1 or 100.
You're still a winner. You're always a winner, Biff. It doesn't matter.
Just further proof that nice guys don't always finish last. Sometimes
Yeah.
you finish first of all the last people.
First to last.
Exactly.
I love how our John Stewart conversation is all about our stupid games.
Oh, by the way, well, you were talking about the best of
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
bits.
Yeah, there you
we're-
go.
We're getting nostalgic.
We
having
are.
you back, thinking about all of great moments we have. I'll give one John Stewart comment. His basic is called Construct of Hate.
Oh.
Ooh.
And that shows us how much we need hate right now
Yeah.
to go through this because we don't
yeah, you know what?
we don't have
Well,
this guy.
While we wait on him, and he's obviously gonna have the best thoughts on a character that I've never used and never
Right.
faced before.
Or have unlocked.
Let's talk a bit about Siege.
Yeah.
You know, where you guys place. or the best bonus? What are you guys using?
Oh God, guys, he's in here. So hate mail is here.
Oh, we got him.
Yeah, he just popped into the chat room. So yeah,
His ears must have been burning.
I know his ears must have been really burning. Let's go ahead and bring him in.
Let's get back to that siege because this has been an interesting one with the bonus.
And we're just waiting for him to connect up here.
Hate
mail. Can you hear us, pal?
Hey guys, are you ready to start the podcast?
Oh gosh. What about this guy? Hate mail. His wife tells me that he has a lot in common with an ambulance. They both take it in the back and go hoot hoot. I never knew you were a fan of pegging, man.
Everybody's got to live a little.
That's it.
We were stalling for so long to try and wait for you to get on here so we could talk about the new tunes. So now that you're here, please, sir, help us out with
John Stewart.
John Stewart, because we're really struggling here.
Well, first, let me tell you, it's so good to have you back. And hope you enjoyed your time away.
Thank you. I did.
And so new tunes. So I thought they were both going to be crap. Did you talk about what's his name, Abin already?
We slightly did. Yeah, we started on them, but yeah.
I think we still want to hear your thoughts, though.
We do.
Too.
Yeah.
So the new tunes, I really thought they were going to be crap. I wasn't planning on buying in Siege, partly due to the Tapjoy drought. Also, just their kits look weird, look stupid, and sometimes WB comes out with some crap, and we don't know where they come up with it from. And sometimes they surprise us with tunes that look terrible, but really are significantly better than you could ever imagine. I actually like both of them enough that if Tapjoy had happened or does happen, I would take, at very least, I'm going to take Ultraviolet John Stewart to RB5.
Wow.
Either this go around or next. I think he's absolutely amazing. Abin, I think, is extremely good as well. I really like him. I do have way too many green RB5s. So when his next come around, because I already missed his main sale anyway, due to the Tapjoy drought, I just can't bring myself to spend thousands of dollars to bring a new tune up. But Abin looks, I mean, I don't have a lot of high rebirth blues, but he's so good. I mean, his AoE stun, if it goes off, which, it goes off the majority of the time.
Yeah.
I haven't played with him yet. I've only seen DeBoy and Burger's opinions and video, and I've seen a lot of Burger took him. He has him L4, L5 now, and he absolutely loves them. And they do high damage. They do a lot. They're really, really good characters.
So they keep teasing us with these lantern months, and they keep giving us, like, I get it. Like, Abin Sur is a great character. He's there to die. That's his only purpose in life, is to die.
Which he should have had an ability that, gave him something for dying, because like he dies and then your team becomes bonkers.
Right.
But he doesn't, he actually lives
his fourth passive.
Yeah, he actually lives very well. Like he's very meaty.
Well,
he can take a hit.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what we were saying. Is it is kind of odd that the character who is known for dying, his kid is based around him living. So
they gave him a little bit more backstory, didn't they? Because they made him like the enemy of Yasmalt and all the people from the the original story about the end of the Lantern Corps and everything.
Wow.
Like they kind of gave him a little bit more of a beefy backstory, but yeah, mostly he's known for dying.
But he's another one that turned out great. His kit
Right.
looked stupid. That casting taunt on someone is super useful. The
really?
stun on his basics.
Is it?
because we were debating that.
Not the passive. I'm talking about his two.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
I didn't
okay.
take the passive. I could see on defense where that's very annoying to face, because it may taunt the person, someone that you don't want to hit, or you're not worried about hitting, and then you can't get to Spectre or Azrael or somebody that you need to get to. So I could see on defense where it can be very frustrating. On offense, it's too scary. I'll never take it. But his 2, where you cast the taunt, I use that. I have him L3 right now, and I've been using him in Siege since the beginning on almost every team. I use it to put the taunt back on Parallax whenever it falls off. I use it, or if I've had a few matches where, Parallax is either dead or his taunt dropped off, and then I put it on someone else who has more life. than another person. I mean, it's extremely useful. But then his 3 does crazy damage. I mean, at L3 it nukes every red, and then does significant damage to greens. So I can only imagine, Du Bois RB4 just absolutely nukes everything.
Wow.
Hey Mel, have you noticed that his legendary second doesn't seem to process all the time?
Yeah, something's funky. There's something funky with it.
Okay.
So it's broken.
Yeah. It works most of the time, but then occasionally it doesn't.
I never see it working for me. He's been one of my main siege bonus tunes I've been using, and it never seems to process.
Huh. I don't know.
I mean, I'd at least think you'd see the crit immunity since it's 2 turns. Like maybe the debuff immunity drops off or something, but I've noticed they're just not, those buffs just aren't there. Or they're not showing the little graphic. Maybe they're applied secretly. I don't know. Maybe they're not, and I just didn't notice. But it seemed, I always put it on Parallax, so it's hard to tell because he's got 85,000 buffs. So, yeah, fair.
But I'm pleasantly surprised. And it's funny because whenever they do characters that are either not well known or no name, they tend to always be really good. So
I was kind of like, after the last episode, I was like, great, I'm going to have a few characters that I can slow gear now coming up. And then I'm like, damn it, Hate Mail, you lied.
Yep, that's exactly what we all thought. I mean, everybody was planning on slow gearing. Several owls had Abin as a slow gear, and now they're all breaking because they see how good he is, and they're like, damn it, I have to gear him. And Ultraviolet John Stewart, I've seen him geared a little bit now. I haven't seen a ton of video, but most of the video I saw was when he was L1. Even at L1, he looks really good.
I know in the video that the boy was doing, he was dealing out massive damage at L1. I'm just imagining what that would be like at RB5. It'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, because this month so painful with this Tapjoy drought, because I really wanted to I was going to take Yara because her sales this next weekend. And then, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that Tapjoy drops while those 2 sales are still active. And then I can go absolutely just insane. There's going to be a lot.
It's got to be next weekend.
Well, a lot of people are doing research on this, and apparently when they look back at old statements, they see Olay purchases in January and then April. So I distinctly remember us having a drought last year. It just feels more impactful this time because we had so many a while ago. But
yeah, we had a lot of Tapjoy like weekends in the holiday season. We were real close together, it seemed like.
Yeah, and I mean, thankfully, if I would have known this year during the holidays, it's always tough because it's during the holidays, but I'm gonna make sure I always load up, but I'm gonna go really crazy in knowing there's gonna be a lull coming up. So all I know is if something happens this on Easter, hopefully it's an Easter sale that they do, there's gonna be some very, very smooth skin in my neighborhood. So.
Bring it back to Android, please.
But you get the games though. I know they take time, but
I'd rather kill
grinding.
Yeah,
I'd rather pull out my gallbladder with an oyster fork than play those than play those freaking empire building games.
Biff loves Rise of Kingdoms.
Oh, God. If I gotta plant another fucking crop so I can get some gems, awfully cranky podcast person.
The things we do, right? Oh my God. Speaking of, we kind of touched on it a little bit, and Biff was bringing it up a little bit too, but the Siege early talk and some of the Siege comps. I know you had a question earlier on about some of the Siege comps that some of the very, very top echelon of players will use, and if there's going to be any kind of, I hate to use a precedent there, but a set team. Do you know? Am I explaining that right, Biff? Am I explaining that right?
I don't know if I said anything about that. No, I just said it'd be interesting to hear, what, because there are good bonus tunes this time. What some of the comps people are using,
right?
Parallax is on almost every team,
right,
from what I've seen and what I've used. There's a lot of variety because usually the first couple of days people get their bot boards, then you use a particular team. Like I was crushing it during the bot boards. I went full bonus on every single one of them and was keeping up with the boy, which having high rebirth bonus tunes this go around is significantly better than in some other sieges. You know, Alan and Parallax being RB5 is massive. And then he's got Abin RB1 at least, I think, maybe higher now. And then having Ultraviolet John Stewart, even at L1, is very useful. So he's doing well. He's in the lead. It's his to lose, put it that way. So they I'd say it varies a lot right now, because the counter teams to the siege boards, and then there's the counters to those, and it hasn't settled into a one particular team, which is unusual. I mean, I've used everything from Cheetah Talon, Dr. Poison. I even took Dr. Poison to RB4. I hate doing it when I don't have RB5 shards, but I just couldn't take out all these dark side teams with Alan. She wouldn't reliably kill them. Even at RB4, she doesn't reliably kill them, but she usually gets them low enough with Talon, which sucks because it's only one bonus tune. But some of these teams, it's worth doing one bonus to not lose a tune or a match, which I had a really bad siege day. I think it was Friday, where I was super busy at work and I was trying to rush matches, and that's always a terrible combination. But I was running out of time. So
with what, work or playing the game?
I got stuck at work and then I rushed playing the game.
Right.
And I had went to a work thing where there was cocktails as well when I got home and played. So it was a terrible combination of things coming together. But
if you need some tips on doing siege with cocktails, I can help you with that.
Hey. I think you're just doing siege wrong, because if you just choose Aquaman, Terra, Azrael, Spec.
That's what I was hearing.
RB5 them all.
RB5 them all. You will have no trouble.
That sounds awful.
I did see a different team at one point, the siege, but then I saw it go back to the old team. So
yeah, he must have got one of those 8,000 power teams.
Yeah.
Does he know he gets free publicity on this show?
You know, it's funny. I don't know if he's in any, I don't know. I've never seen him in any chats or anything. Right. I mean, he's in 1500, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta ask them if they know the guy.
Yeah, they do.
He must be a great asset to the team. He's got four characters geared, so great teammate.
I think I've seen his roster, and he has more than that. He just chooses not to use them. So you know, he's got the stuff for the Alliance point weeks if that's what they're going after. But I didn't think that was their thing either.
We gotta have him on. You guys need to have him.
Oh, definitely.
I'd love to have him. Defended him in a one of his streams. Talking about, he can still rank very high in siege. He uses it because his strategy is to get a lot of defensive wins. And
I'm not accusing him of anything rather than being boring. Because that's what he is. Exactly. But as far as defensive wins go, I don't think he's going to get all those points by getting defensive wins. And besides, that comp is old news. We've been using it for almost a year now. We're used to deal with it. I don't lose to him ever, so.
That 1 point is a big deal.
You know what?
Sure is boring.
He doesn't have to think through anything.
What will happen is we'll have a siege, and all of them will be bonus tunes one day.
Well, I will say he does keep the siege
first.
He does keep siege interesting because you have to run something horrible.
Yeah.
And then it ends up on other people's boards. And, yeah. It's the first brake light, like Beth likes to say. So
exactly. It's tapping the brakes on the highway. And I have somebody sent me a message the other day saying, "What the hell did you use this team for?" I'm like, "Oh, that's my cunty counter."
Golly.
I did notice Grundy. I've been running Grundy a lot, and you know how they messed him up before a couple times. First, he was just standing there, and then he would walk halfway and then attack everybody on it. And then they fixed it. Now he runs across and he punches, everybody again. He goes underneath of awareness now.
And shields.
Yes, and shields. I was getting ready to say that. I actually love the way he does that now. I mean, I'm having fun using Grundy. If that was normal for him, it'd bring so much more life into that character.
We actually suggested that they leave it because it makes him a lot better and just update the text, because he's It gives him a good, like, he's not great, because I would say I've not used him a ton this siege. I did the first couple days during bot teams, but he's just not a great character. So even at high rebirth, he's good, but he's not great, and that gives him a little bit of an edge and a reason to use him.
I would say at RB5, he's a nightmare to deal with, because whenever I face Retmus's RB5 Grundy, he's a handful.
Grundy Crush.
Yes.
Yeah, that's only on defense.
Good to know.
Yeah, on offense, he's not as good.
No,
but he's good. But it's like night and day. But
have you noticed he seems to be doing his taunt animation when you use his third as well? Because I think Wally pointed that out as well in our alliance chat. I've noticed that it's kind of fun though. He's like, oh, he's extra angry before he goes and stomps.
Yeah.
Extra angry.
I've noticed that when I was running stuff on auto, because I had them on just the regular Wraith battle PvP, and I just left it on auto. And every normal attack, his basic attack, he was doing the complete stomp sequence of his third attack. Where he goes in and hits everybody, but it was just his normal attack, but he did the animation like he was attacking everybody. I did notice that. It was kind of neat. I kind of liked that. I was like, just leave that. That's kind of cool. Yeah. But I mean, he's power crept just like everybody else. That's basically his flaw. If they left what he's doing right now, bumped him up a little bit, then that's all they need for a rework for him, and he would be so much better.
I agree.
He occasionally gets you though, because like when he does his little counter move, if you damage him and he hits one of your greens, they can, especially yours because it's RB5. He might be power crept, but he can still wipe somebody out surprisingly. Kind of like Power Girl, even though she's super power crept, she occasionally does that too, where she counters that third and a red just dies instantly.
Next time on Atlantis After Dark, things that are broken in DCL.
We don't have enough time.
Episode.
Yeah, we don't have enough time for that.
Oh gosh,
the bug episode.
It'll start on WAD, carry over to WROL, then carry over to another, and then another, and then back to us.
We should do the whole crossover event thing. What's broken this time?
I want to do it with all of the like Crime Alley and everybody.
Right.
That'd be fun.
It would be.
Crisis on Infinite podcast.
Crisis on Infinite.
That's the perfect name. I love that.
That's great. Oh my god!
If there's no Tapjoy on Easter, it probably would qualify as a crisis, and then we could do
it. we need to organize that. We better make that happen.
Oh
yeah, that would be awesome.
It would be. Get everyone together. I approve this.
I think we should just have all of us on, and then we'll do a 3-part episode, and we'll just start on one, and and then we say, okay, we'll pause here once it gets to like 34, because it'd be easy for us to be a 3-hour podcast. With
it would be. Yeah, we could probably
that many chatters.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that idea. I love the idea, so let's make it happen. But unfortunately,
the Zoom meeting screen would look like the fucking Brady Bunch. Would be fantastic.
Well, we'll have to do like raise your hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Out of voices.
Right. We are running short of time, so let's think about wrapping this thing up. I want to take it around the horn and get the last word. We'll start with, guess who? Retmus. Take us to church, pal.
Well, a few things to say today. I won't be preachy, but first of all, you know the old saying, you don't know what you got till it's gone. That was definitely fits you, AB. So thankful that you're back, buddy. Hope everything is going great in your life, and everybody here. I know I can speak for everybody that we're grateful that you're back, and we missed you very much. The one little thing that I'll preach just a hair.
I guess we're going there.
This is one thing. It just bothered me a little bit. I would just like people to be just try your best to just be a little bit considerate to others. I went to Walmart the other day to pick up some groceries real quick, and like it was really packed for some reason. I don't know why. And I was parked beside a wheelchair spot, and there was another car parked in front of me, in the opposite parking, and they come out and they start throwing all their groceries in, and they shove their buggy right into the wheelchair spot, the one empty wheelchair spot that was available. And as soon as they shoved that buggy over there, then he just pulled off and took off. And a person was coming in, right behind them and parked. And it probably wasn't 30 seconds later, there was someone with a handicap sticker on their car coming in, and they could not get in that spot because of that. So I jumped out, and moved the buggy. But the sad thing is the buggy return was directly behind their car. And they just didn't care. And that's what I think is wrong with a lot of people in the world. Everybody is just so self-centered and self-focused on themselves. They never care about others or how things can affect other people. So I'm just asking you, whenever you do anything, just think about it a little bit when you do it, and try and just, be aware of your surroundings, because, you can make it very difficult for other people without realizing it. That's my little rant for today. Just be kind to other people and thoughtful. And thank you.
Well, thank you, Retmus. It's always a pleasure. You're like the nicest guy in the world. I don't even know how to do it.
I don't think he is. It was just tooting his horn right now.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
You're still mad about that competition. Bring your John Stewart points.
Oh boy. Awesome. Well, let's keep it moving then. Hate mail. Tell the people what they want to hear, buddy.
Well, first, I'd like to echo that we're so happy to have you back. The show just isn't the same without you, even though Retmus did an awesome job. And I do like to leave my shopping carts in the grass area so people like Retmus can, tell long-winded stories to make themselves look good.
Hey, it was to make other people aware of what they're doing.
Just leaving it.
Well, I think hate mail is aware that he's leaving it in the median. That's right.
It depends on how far the cart thing is. If it is a long ways, I am guilty of that sometimes. But I also don't want to put the cart guys out of a job. So,
right. And that's not that big of a deal. It's just the fact where they put the cart with the only open handicap spot and someone needed it. That's why it bothered me so much. I mean, that's the only reason I was griping about that.
No, that is
he would have left that shit there if it was in the grass.
Yeah.
I probably would have. To be honest, I probably would have.
That's a douche move. I'm teasing you.
All right. Biff?
That's all I got.
All right, cool, man. Biff, tell us like it is, man.
Yeah, well, no, I thank you for coming. Thank you for being back. We, as everyone said, we've missed you a lot. And by the way, for Retmus, that I don't think the statement, "I'm not going to get preachy," has ever been uttered by someone who wasn't about to get preachy.
I can't help it. I'm sorry.
But, no, it's fine. No,
You're just getting roasted to town here.
By the way, as I bought my first car out of college, my first real car that I bought like new. My best friend has cerebral palsy and is in a wheelchair. And my first car I got to buy, I bought an SUV just so I could get his chair in and out. So I am very cognizant of what Retmus talked about, and it bothers me just as much when I see people not being considerate to handicapped folks. So there's your surprise of the show. Me going down that path.
Well, you're just tooting your horn as well. What's going on right now?
It was an Lexus RX 300. That horn I like to toot. That was my favorite car ever. It was my first car out of college. But anyway, so yeah, no, nothing else to say. Glad to have AB back. So excited. If you're a big time player out there that wants to take it a little easier off the top 10 grind, we got one spot left in AAD. We've had a couple of retirements of late. So hit me up.
Do it. Thanks, Biff. Sec Jew, tell us what's going down, pal.
All right. Well, you know, I'll pick up where everyone else left off, stroking off AB so he can finish before it gets to Witty. But yeah, we're just happy to have you back, man. So
Oh my God.
glad to have your voice back with us. Glad to actually talk to you live in person.
Right.
And you know, on the subject of the carts and handicap spaces, because that's, you know, that's become the thing we're talking about. Not to plug anyone else's content, but you guys really need to YouTube Cart Narcs from the Wally Show. It's like a morning talk show that's syndicated, and they just started, well, not just started, but they started playing it in my area, and they have a whole bit about this called Cart Narcs. So this guy goes around and like basically like blocks people from leaving parking lots and like slaps a magnet on their car about the fact that they leave carts in inconsiderate places. So it's, please go check that out. You'll laugh if you think this subject is kind of, well, you know, it sucks when people do it, but it is kind of funny. So I'd at least go take a look at that if you get a chance. But otherwise, yeah, be nice to people, because it's so much easier to be mean and selfish, and it takes the extra effort to, you know, hold the door for the person coming behind you versus let it swing in their face, or, you know, hold the door open for the person coming that you see is carrying something. It's not hard to do nice things that don't mean a lot in the grand scheme of things, but they put a smile on somebody's face. So be nice to people. We need more of that.
Couldn't have said it better. Thanks, buddy. Witty, you give us the bottom line today.
Yeah, well, I would just like to let everyone know that I helped the old lady cross the street the other day.
Nice.
It's about time you
Was
did
it in
something
Amsterdam?
Amsterdam.
in the red light
That
district.
was in the red light
Yeah, in
district.
the red light district.
Oh my God. Oh, I just had to say that to mess with Redmus. But in all seriousness, yeah, just like everyone else said, it's great to have you back, AB. It's been one hell of a journey, and Redmus kept us going. I appreciate all what he did for us, what he did for the podcast. It's great to have Sekju in our amidst our team. He does have a great voice. I mean, he'll be second to AB now. He was a great addition to our podcast. But in all seriousness, it's great to have you back. And we do need more contests and more bonkers, more Merle. So
I think we can accommodate some of that. Thank you very
Jonathan
much.
Crane has been working on something lately. So
Has he?
You might hear him again.
Well,
And thank you, Witty, by the way. I'm blushing a little bit over here. Thank you. I appreciate that.
that is true. I meant it.
Thank you.
And also thank you for taking your grandma to the nursing home,
yeah,
walking her across the street.
I appreciate that, Witty.
You know, it wasn't my. It's not true, by the way. But if it was, it wouldn't be my grandma, because I didn't meet any of them, my grandparents. So even if I lied, it wasn't about that.
Oh,
But I did lie.
well, we won't hold it against
Oh
you.
man, that all got serious at the
I
end.
know,
there. Somebody
right?
say something really funny.
Somebody
Maybe.
tell a funny joke,
Take
right?
us home, buddy.
All right. All right.
My dad's dead.
Oh my God.
Does
I was
everybody
supposed
needs
to
to
be
stop
laughing
laughing
about
at that?
that.
It's not funny at all.
Next time on Double AD. All right. Thanks, everybody. And that's going to do it. We want to thank all of you for taking the time to be with us today. Get on our website, atlantisafterdark.com. Grab some cool swag from the merch store. Get on Discord and talk directly with us, and hit that subscribe button because you know you want to. For Retmus, Biff, Witty, Sekju, and the man called Hate Mail, we'll see you all right here next time for another fantabulous episode of Double AD. Thanks and so long, everybody.